Hello, hi, I think I'm live. I hope that you are all doing well. Happy Friday. Yes, if you are here live, let me know, give me a wave. If not, and you are watching this on the replay, then let me know with hashtag replay. I'm just going to double check that I'm live in the group, or not in the group, on my Facebook page, and then we'll get started. Today is day 3 of the Procrastination Odyssey. Yeah, it looks like I'm there. Good. And today we're going to talk about success. We're going to talk about failure. We're going to talk a little bit about growth mindset. And we're going to talk about the key to really increasing your likelihood of achieving your goals. And I do have a special offer at the end that I'm going to talk about just for 5 minutes. So I hope that you will stick around and join me for that. Let me just, okay, good. Okay, so that looks good. Let me go ahead and share my screen, and then we will get started. Oh, I didn't open up the thing that I needed. Sorry. All right, there we go. Right there. Okay. All right, we are on day 3 of the Procrastination Odyssey, like I mentioned. In day 1, we talked about goal setting. We talked about action planning if procrastination is something that you struggle with. And we talked about connecting with your why to build that internal motivation. On day 2, we talked about I was just trying not to say and then I said okay. We talked about obstacles and things like procrastination and self-sabotage. And if you have listened to that, you'll see why I don't like the term self-sabotage, but I do use it anyway because it is such a common term. And I talked about the 3 keys, or 3 of the keys that I think are really important in helping to overcome that stuck feeling and get taking consistent action. And today we're here on day 3, which is this lady who has finally reached her goals. But what does that actually mean? What is success? What is failure? And how can we kind of ensure ourselves to, I'm going to just make myself a little bit, there we go. How can we ensure that we have the best possible chance of reaching our goals? So again, what we're going to talk about, how do you measure success? What is failure? And what is one thing that you can do to increase your likelihood of success? So day 1, I talked about setting goals that are actionable instead of results focused. So this is, instead of having a goal that is, I want 100 members in my membership. Now, ultimately, that is a measurable goal, but it's not something that you control, right? Whether people join my membership or not is out of my control. Whereas if I choose an actionable goal, like doing a launch, then that is something that is within my control, which would hopefully lead to getting more members to join my membership. But the taking of the action and seeing myself making progress in that way is better for these sorts of goals that I like to work with. But that leads us to a dilemma, right? Completing all of the actions might not lead right away to measurable results in your business. So I can do this launch and not get any or as many members in my membership as I would like. And so that then could lead me to feeling quite discouraged. But, say your goal is to start a new podcast. And once you have completed the steps, you will have a finished product. But again, you probably won't notice a measurable impact on your business right away. This would be something that would take time to build up over time, and is also something that you would then need to also continue to do, right? You have to build up that internal motivation to keep going, even without seeing those impacts straight away. And this, I think, really comes down to trust. So trusting yourself to keep going with a project, even without the immediate feedback, trusting that your effort will compound over time, excuse me, and the assets that you're creating now will pay off in the future. And trusting that most of the people that you've seen who have become overnight successes have actually been doing this slow work behind the scene for years. And I think that's a really, really important reminder, because there's so much that we see on social media with people being extremely, extremely successful, and we naturally compare ourselves to them. But we just have to keep reminding ourselves, and sometimes this is a daily practice, that their journey is their journey, our journey is our journey, but that their journey probably was a lot harder than what we imagine when we look at them, look at where they are now. And so we just have to build that sense of trust. And a lot of that, again, you can build that sense of trust by those three things that I talked about yesterday. So that awareness, that bravery, and that self-compassion. So the bravery, trusting that you're going to keep going with a project, even when that action feels really difficult, when you're not getting any external feedback to show you that it's worth it, but you trust yourself to keep going. And the awareness that you build about your abilities to manage that, and the ways that you speak to yourself with kindness and compassion, if you don't get results that you were hoping for, will help you to continue on this journey, no matter what. So ultimately, if you think about success as a process and not as a destination, then you'll be so much more likely to keep going, even when you aren't getting that external feedback. But where does that then leave goals, right? If we think of success as just this kind of never-ending doing of things, that can sometimes feel a little bit disheartening. But I do think that having tangible goals for short-term projects can be an important part of the process. If you think of them as kind of stepping stones to what your sort of ultimate goal is. Now I put, running a business that allows you to live the life that aligns with your values and to the standard that you want. And I know that's very generic, but we all have our own ultimate goals of what we want our business to be. And so these little actionable goals are the stepping stones that over time will hopefully add up to what we want. But then that leads us to ask, well, what about failure? And there's a quote that goes something like, I've seen variations of it, the only way to fail is if you quit. And I think this can be both a helpful way to think about failure and also extremely unhelpful. It's helpful in the sense that it encourages us to keep going. So if we haven't achieved our goals, we haven't failed if we take that as an opportunity to like reevaluate where we are, make adjustments, and keep going. So this could be, if you haven't achieved one of your stepping stone goals in, a specified time frame, well, that's not failure, right? If you're still continuing to work towards that. And it can also be those more measurable goals. My goal is 100 members in the membership, and I haven't reached that goal. It doesn't mean that I've failed at that goal. I'm still continuing to work towards that goal, and I'm trying different things, and I'm looking at them, and I'm evaluating compassionately, and trying to just kind of keep going. And it's all an iteration, and we have to just keep reminding ourselves of that. Conversely, I think it is not helpful in that, sorry about this typos again, in that it can put pressure on us to keep going on a business that is no longer working for us. Deciding that you don't want to run your business anymore is not failure. So in that instance, when the quote was, the only way to fail is if you quit. Well, quitting your business is not a failure. There may be a million reasons why somebody decides that is not working in their life anymore. But choosing to do something different is just you as a resourced and capable human deciding that isn't working for you anymore and choosing to go a different route. And sometimes it's not necessarily a choice. It doesn't feel like a choice. There are lots of times when things don't work out because of external forces. And that's not a failure anyway. That's not a failure either. That is us reacting to life and our brain going back to that safety thing, keeping us safe in the way that is most able to be managed at the time. And I think that's a really compassionate way to try to see those things, that allows us to not take that quitting or that failure as a personal proof that we're not good enough to do the thing, right? It actually, I think, is proof of real strength and should show that actually when times were really hard, I did what was best. I did what needed to be done. And I trust that I can move forward and perhaps come back to it or something else if I want to in the future, but it's not working now. So I think we need to just be really kind to ourselves if things don't work out the way that we want them to. I wanted to talk a little bit, let me just double check and see if I've gotten any comments or anything. No, if you have any questions or any comments, please do let me know. I wanted to talk a little bit about growth mindset, because I think that can be really important when we think about like our ability to change and our ability to grow. And let me stop sharing the screen that I'm sharing and share a different screen. Actually, it might, let me see. Is that showing the right thing? Yes. So I think this goes along well with, the success and failure. So it says it, Winston Churchill says, success is not final. Failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts. And I love that quote. And that kind of goes with what I was saying. Like when we think of success and a goal, it's not a final thing, right? It's part of the journey. It's part of the continuing on. And then failure is not fatal. So failure is not proof that you're terrible or it's time to quit or anything like that. Failure is a chance to reevaluate. It's a time to look and see and change directions if you need to, or just continue on. Maybe whatever you're trying just wasn't quite ready yet, but that doesn't mean that it was wrong. So a growth mindset is like a set of beliefs and behaviors that allow people to increase their likelihood of success and achievement and achieving their goals by making them seek opportunities to learn, gain new skills, improve existing skills, become more resilient, and enhance their character and willpower. And so a lot of the things that we do in the membership will actually help you to build that growth mindset, right? It's showing you that you have the ability to change and to grow. And I mentioned, I can't remember what day it was, but I used to believe that I was a procrastinator, right? That this was kind of a part of my personality that would be very difficult to change. And now through the work that I've done, in addition to changing that belief, I also then fosters that mindset that, hey, I can change that about myself. I can change the way that I view myself as a person from a procrastinator to somebody that is overcoming my procrastination, is learning how to manage it in different ways. And so then that then fosters the belief that I can grow in other ways. And in order to foster a growth mindset, thinking about shifting what we value. So instead of thinking about innate intelligence or innate ability, believing that people are successful because they are smarter or they're more clever or they're more confident, and this is an innate ability. We don't want to think like that. What we want to think about is effort and persistence. So these are things that we are able to grow. Again, think process over outcome. So we don't necessarily need to focus always on the final outcome of something. We need to look at the process, how we go from A to B. Mistakes we learn from, we want to value those things. These failures are learning opportunities instead of needing things to be perfect. So we want to shift into valuing failing at trying new things over winning within the comfort zone. So this is really interesting for me because when I'm still running my stationery business, but when I got to that point in my stationery business where I was successful, but I couldn't do the things that I wanted to grow that business. There were, I wanted to do workshops. I wanted to launch, new card lines and that kind of things. So I was winning within the comfort zone, but I was failing at trying new things. Eventually that comfort zone starts to get too small. And I just started to get really, really frustrated. And that comfort zone became not very comfortable. And if that is something that feels familiar to you, then it is really, really important to start allowing yourself to try new things, even if you don't think that you're going to necessarily be good at them. And then we'll go. So doing what's hard and boring, but necessary over doing what's shiny, new, or exciting. And that's interesting. What I think this means is, when we are working towards a goal, there are tasks that are going to trip us up because they are hard and they cause a lot of self-doubt, and our brain feels like they hold a lot of risk. And in those cases, a lot of times what will happen is we will see something else that looks easy, and our focus will turn to that. And this is actually something that just happened to me on Tuesday. Like I sent my email about, I was preparing I was supposed to be preparing for this series of lives. I was getting ready. And all day Tuesday, I started focusing on something completely different from that. That shiny, new, exciting thing that didn't feel to my brain like it was going to carry the risk. And so I was like, ooh, let's look at that, instead of actually staying over with, what's hard and boring. It's not necessarily boring, it can be sometimes boring, but in my case, it felt hard, risky, but necessary to continue to move towards my goals. And luckily I was able to catch myself on Tuesday and Wednesday and move forward with this. But it's just, again, valuing that sometimes doing that hard work is extremely necessary. And deferred gratification over instant gratification. So this can maybe sometimes go with that winning within the comfort zone. So you can do something that is very easy for you, and you see a quick win, you get quick feedback from that, but that over time, that might not lead to the real growth that you want. So getting okay with doing the work without necessarily getting the feedback. And so just to shorten this, I'm going to give you a copy of this growth mindset cheat sheet. But there are 3 prompts that you can ask every day that will just help you to start to foster this feeling of progress, or this, what's the word I want? This desire to make progress. No, that's not the right word either. I guess what I'm trying to say is that you want to value small progress. And so doing these questions every day will just bring it to the front of your mind and keep reminding yourself that taking the small steps, doing the brave things every day will lead you to growth. So something that I learned today, how did I make progress regarding my current goals today? And what can I do tomorrow to just be 1% better? So the 1% thing, that's very popular. If you read Atomic Habits, he talks a lot about that. We don't need to search for massive change every day. We just need to do the little things every day. And over time, that really adds up to big change. So the final thing I want to talk about is this study. I haven't actually been able to find the original study yet, but I have seen these stats quoted in a number of online articles. So from the American Society of Training and Development, which shows that accountability, even a little bit, produces measurable results when it comes to reaching your goals. So there are a lot of things. If you get to sort of here, making a plan, this are things that you can do on your own, right? Having a goal, just having a goal means that you're 10% more likely to reach your goal, which is, I guess, obvious. Consciously deciding to do it means that you would then be 25% more likely. So that, I think, is like committing to yourself that you're going to do it. Assigning yourself a timeline and making a plan, those will get you to, 50% more likely to reach your goal than a person who is not doing those things. But when you come down to the bottom, you can see that accountability can really make a huge difference in your likelihood of success. And publicly committing, well, not publicly, I suppose it can be privately too, committing to someone else can increase your likelihood of achieving your goal to 65%, and weekly consistent check-ins with that person up to 95%. Now, again, I haven't seen the original study, so even if we cut that back 15, 20%, you can see that adding that accountability makes you so much more likely to be able to achieve your goal. It still takes making the goal, consciously deciding to do it and committing to yourself, making the plan. All of those things are really, really important. But, those accountability parts can really, really be key. Doing it on your own is harder. And that's why I created my membership, the Procrastination to Success Society. In addition to the tools and a lot of the processes that I share, I'm going to stop sharing my screen for a second. So in the membership, there are a lot of tools for helping you to understand your procrastination, to help you to plan, to set goals, to build your awareness, to build your bravery, to build your self-compassion. So all of those tools are there. But I decided to make it a membership and not a course, because I believe that accountability is just that extra bit of, seasoning on the top that will really, really help you to use the tools and move forward towards your goals. And so I have 2 tiers of the membership. I have a $7 a month tier, which includes not basic, why am I saying basic? It's got all of the same membership content, and then it has access to a Facebook group and some co-working calls, which are amazing because they're like very focused accountability periods where you come in, you claim what you're going to work on, and you actually work on it. And then we check in at the end. And I find those sorts of I've heard them called body doubling sessions as well, can be super, super helpful for actually doing something that you've been putting off. Right? I find them really, really important, or really easy to help me to get going on something that I've been putting off. So those are available in the $7 a month version. And then I also have there's a Q&A. But for the birthday sale, for the sale that I'm going to be launching this evening or tomorrow morning, I am actually promoting the higher tier, the $27 per month tier. And I'm going to open up the sales page because I want to show you what's included. Oh, sorry. This I should have done before. Right, okay. So as part of the membership, you have access to everything that I just mentioned as part of the $7 tier is also included in the $27 tier, but there is also I'm so sorry about this. Right. There is also right. Okay. So here's going to be the sales page. You also have access to a monthly group coaching call and monthly Voxer office hours. And these will allow you to get one-on-one support from me for accountability and also for support. So if there are times in your business where you have a plan and you are taking action, and then you come upon something that is suddenly making action feel really, really difficult, these are perfect times to come and ask for support, and you have access to me. There's at least one group coaching call a month. Right now I'm running 2. And there's Voxer office hours. And Voxer is, if you haven't heard of it, is a bit like WhatsApp or Facebook Messenger. It's a text and voice messaging system where you can connect with me. You don't have to share your phone number, which is why I use it. I think it's good for privacy. And you're able to, I have a day where I open up my calendar and you can message me and we can go back and forth. I'm available all day, but this is not something that is time intensive for you. So you can come if you need some support. You can send me a message. I can send you some messages back. We can kind of go back and forth a couple times. I can point you to tools that might be helpful or help you to think about a different way of thinking about something. Or, you can just use it for that, one-on-one accountability. So, hey, today I've been putting off X. I'm hoping to get it done in the next hour. I'm going to check in at the end. And so that can be another great way to use that. And so having me there as a support system, I think can be really, really helpful as you're moving forward. And there's also I'll do a mindset call in the $27 a month tier, the premium tier every month, where that's live. We come on and I either do a new journaling tool or a new exercise, or we use one of the tools from the membership. And that's just to help strengthen one of those kind of 3 cores, the awareness, the bravery, or the self-compassion. In addition, if you join the premium tier during the launch, which is going up until Wednesday, the 27th, I am also offering a 60-minute free one-on-one coaching call, which will help you to kind of start to understand your procrastination and maybe start to do some planning, start to figure out what would be best for you to start within the membership. And it's just a great way to introduction to the membership. I have the Overcoming Indecision Masterclass, which is not available in the membership. It's in its own separate little portal, and it talks about those times where, maybe you are really stuck and you're not sure what to focus on. There's some exercises, there's some tools that can help you to get unstuck. And I'm also offering a self-belief guided meditation. So this is kind of to help you meet your future self, connect with that vision of your future and also connect with your confidence and your self-belief and your joy as you're moving forward towards your business goals. And all of that, in addition to all the tools and everything, is $27 a month. And I also, for my birthday offer, I am offering an opportunity to sign up for a year. And that is, you get 2 months free, so $270. So 12 months for the price of 10. And in addition to that, I'm also inviting you for a free 30-day trial in my new one-on-one accountability coaching. And this includes using that coaching call that you're going to get to really plan out the actions that you need to take to achieve your goal. So in the monthly planning call for the membership, we do this, but as part of this accountability coaching, we will do this one-on-one in the call. So I'll walk you through the process of planning out everything and thinking about, different tasks that, whether you think something's going to be easy or hard, planning for some setbacks or any obstacles and how you might support yourself. So doing all that on a call with you. And then each week on Monday and Friday, I'll just check in with you on Voxer. You can let me know on Monday kind of what you're hoping to achieve that week. And on Friday, you can check in, or, whenever your end of your work week is, you can just check in, let me know how you got on. And I'm hoping that this one-on-one accountability will really give you a boost and get you going towards the goals that you're working for in your business. And you also have access to Voxer throughout the week. So as part of the membership, I do a Voxer office hour once a month. But if you pay yearly, you will actually, for 30 days, have weekday access to me for Voxer. And this is basically open. So I have a document that's linked in the FAQ that kind of talks about what that means. But if you are struggling or you're feeling stuck, you can just send me a message and then I will get back to you in my working hours. And hopefully support you to kind of keep going. So that free 30-day accountability coaching is $250 value. So actually, you're getting the entire year of the membership for $20, if you think about it that way. So those are the options. Happy birthday to me. Well, not happy birthday to me, happy birthday membership. And I do hope that you will join me. If you have any questions about the offer, the membership, or anything like that, right? I'm going to get rid of that. I do hope that you will let me know. And I'm so excited to open up the membership, to answer any questions, to support you, to get to know you and your business. And just let me know if you have any questions, if there's any way that I can support you. And I will post a link to the sales page. And I will be sending over some emails as well over the next few days. So I hope that you have a wonderful weekend, and I will see you soon. All right, take care. Bye.